Hey everyone, I'm doing a solo playthrough of Roar and Write. This game is what that looks like. And this is probably going to be a really quick one. I'm enjoying it so far. One thing I've learned to not love, I guess, is the dice. Unfortunately, as much as I like how the die itself looks with the colors and everything, I think it would have been just a little bit easier to read some of the numbers from the dice if the design was different. And even from afar, it might be hard for you to see what the numbers are. So I hope you'll be able to bear with me with that. If it's any better for you guys, I can always do another playthrough with alternate dice that have pips on it, which might be easier. And yeah, I think it's very interesting, this dice, because a lot of all of them, I think the number ones have a photo, or not a photo, but like it's an imagery, I guess. So here's an example of like the ones for 3 of the dice. Oop, there's like a image instead, like a graphic, I guess. I keep not figuring out the words I want to use, but yeah. The number 1 is actually on the bottom right, and then when you look at the other numbers, the numbers are within the image itself. So that's what we've got going on there. Interestingly, one of my dice did not come with a number 1 painted on it, so it was a little confusing to me when it first rolled. Oh yeah, this one. It's not the end of the world. I did reach out to the publisher to see if I could get a replacement, because I would like that to be more visible. But I guess it's easy enough to see if it's not a number that I could comprehend. It's the number 1. But anyway, I'm all set up here. I have my council cards here. You do pick 5 of them. The rule book comes with a bunch of them preset, I guess, if you want to play that way. But basically, I have 4 of a kind. I have odd pairs. I have add to 4, and I have ones. So those are pretty self-explanatory here. So I think I'll continue on with explaining, I guess, more of the score sheet. So this is broken up into basically 2 sections. So when you play, there's the kingdoms, and then there's the council offering section. You play this over the course of 5 rounds, and in each of the 5 rounds, you roll the dice, all 6, 3 times. And when you do, you get to write down up to 6 numbers on your row for the age that you're playing. So age 1, you'll be writing in these 6 boxes. You'll be filling them up with numbers that you roll, and you can only use each die once. And the idea is that for each age, you're kind of focusing in on which of these council reps you want to try to appease. And so when you appease them, you're offering up the numbers in a sense. So if I wanted to use this one, the only ones count one, if I happen to roll 4 ones on the first roll, it would probably be in my best interest to write 1, 1, 1, 1 in the first 4 boxes. And then, keeping that in mind, when that round is over, I'll be able to write down the rep number, the rep letter, which is the letter K, and then the round prestige, the points I've scored for that round. And then we have early appeasement. So say I was able to fill up this, the council offerings, the 6 boxes, on the first roll, then I get 4 bonus points. On the second roll, if I fill it up, I get 2 bonus points. If I don't reach the early appeasement by round 3, then I get 0 points. So hopefully that all makes sense. Another thing is, you don't have to fill this up with numbers. It's possible that you fill it up with an X, and that's where the kingdoms come in. So every time you roll, you're able to use 1 unused die. So a die you didn't use to write a number in a box, you get to use one of those numbers that you didn't already use and write them in these little circles within the kingdom. And the kingdom is split up into 5 different sections. And the little circles, you would write the numbers in to hopefully resolve, I guess, the the goal here. So in this spot, add to 14. The 4 numbers here should add to 14. The 4 numbers, the 3 numbers in this section should be the same number, and if you do, you'll get 4 points. And then here, you'll have to write the number from smallest to biggest, and then you'll get 6 points if you do. And then this one's big to small, starting with the highest number all the way down to the lowest number. And then in this big section, you can write any number you want, and if you fill in all the circles, you get 8 points at the end of the game. So something to note, and don't forget to do that for each roll. You get to use you get to use one unused number every time. So when I was playing, I kept forgetting that part, so I'm going to try to remember. And then lastly, we have the personal goals. You will notice on the score pad that these actually change. All the sheets are not the same. So my unique number goal is to get 3s. And then my pairs, I want 2 and 5. All right. Okay, and then that's pretty much it. You add up all your prestige and then your points, and you get a grand total. And hopefully you rank well when you're playing solo, because there are rankings and there's titles in the rulebook based off of your score. So I think we'll get started here. I'm going to start by rolling for the first round. Okay. So I have a 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, and a 6. So I think I would be pretty close to do... Yeah, I'll be pretty close to get a set of 4 of the same value, 4 of a kind, with the 4s. So I'm going to write down the 4s 3 times in the first row. So I use up those 4s. And now I could either write a 5, 5, or a 6 in any of these kingdom boxes. And I think I'm going to put the 6 here in the big to small kingdom. If I wanted to add another number, another value of the die that I haven't used, I could just put an X in this box. And I think I will, because I only really need to write one more 4 down to appease the 4 of a kind. So I think I will use an X and write the number 5 in the big to small box. And I could do that as many times as I want, as long as I have boxes available to mark an X. But I think that's all I can do right now. So unfortunately, I did not get the early appeasement for round 1, so I'm just going to cross off the 4 to just mark that I did not get the 4 and that I'm done with round 1. I'm sorry, it's roll 1 of round 1. Okay, so this time I got a 1, a 2, a 3, 5, 5, and 6. So, unfortunately, I didn't get any 4s. I just need one more 4, so hopefully I'll get that. I'll cross off this box, and then I will mark down 2 numbers in the kingdoms. So one of them is always free to mark. The second number or any additional number after the first one, you do have to make an X in any available box within that row for the year. And again, we are in age 1, so that's what we're marking. So I'll mark 1 and 2. And so I did not get the second roll early appeasement. And there we go. I have 1 4, which is great. So I'm definitely going to use that 4, but I did also get a 2. I rolled a 3, 3 5s, and then yeah, that 4. So I'm going to use that 4. And now I definitely could do the rep letter A. So I'll write down A. And the round prestige means I get 8 points. I don't have early appeasement, so my total is just 8 points for that row. So I have one more thing I could do, which is write a number here. And I think I'll go ahead and write the number 3 in the small to big section. Okay. And now we're on to age 2, just like that. So now I could change up my goal. Maybe I don't want to do 4 of a kind this time. We'll see what the dice tell us. So we have a 1 and another 1. 3, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I think this time I can do odd pairs. I have 2 1s, so I'll write those 2 1s down. I have 2 3s, and then I have 1 5. And then as the free value, so I've used everything but the 4, I'll write the 4 here on the big to small, since I have to write the one that's smaller than the 5, so 6 5 4 is what I've got going on there. I did not do early appeasement for round 1, so I'm just crossing off the 4 to signify that. Doing the second roll. And gosh, I did not get my 5 that I needed. Should I take the chance of getting that? I could potentially get 10 points, so I think I will. So I'll just write a number in the kingdom and do my third roll. So in the kingdom, I will write the number 4 in the small to big. So I have 1 2 3 4 written down. So now we are on the last roll, this age 2, hoping for a 5, and we got it. We got the 5. And then the other numbers are 1 1 2 6 6. So we're going to use the 5 for the council offerings, and then definitely writing the letter F for the rep letter, and then that will score me 10 points. So I'll write down the 10 for the round prestige. And then I get to write down one number for free in the kingdom. I will write a number 6 in the add to 14. Okay. Moving on to age 3. I have 1 and 1, 4, 5, 6, 6. I think I'll go for taking the 2 1s. I'll write those down. And attempt to go for K. Only 1s count. Potentially, if I get 6 1s written down in the council offerings, I'll get 18 points. So I'll give that a shot. And then in the meantime, I will mark one number in the kingdom from a die I didn't use. And I did not use the number 5, so I'll mark it here. The small to big is not complete. I'll circle that to make myself remember that I score 6 points later at the end of the game. And then we are moving on to round 2. Roll 2. Okay. Now I am looking for 1s, and unfortunately I didn't get any. I have 4 4s though. Maybe I could take advantage of that. I think I will. I'll write down the 4s to complete my 6 council offerings, and I score an early appeasement of 2 because I filled out the entire row. And I will go for 4 of a kind, writing the letter A down and getting 8 points. Now for the kingdom, I'm going to write the number 2 here. So I have 8 out of the 14 needed in terms of the sum. So just need a little bit more there. And then that was a quick one. Since I'm playing solo, I don't necessarily need to fill these out, but I'll want to roll one more time so that I can write that number in the kingdom for that third roll. So don't want to forget that. So out of all the rolled dice here, I can take a number and write it down. So what do I need? I'll write the number. I'll write the number 2 here, and then I'll need the number 4 here to make this add up to 14. And then that will be my age 3. Moving on to age 4. I'm in a very similar position as I was in age 2, where I have a lot of the odd pairs. So I have a 1 1 3 3 5 and 2. So I'm gonna write down the 1 1 3 3 and the 5. And then we have the leftover 2, which I will use. I'll use here on the same number section of the kingdom. Second roll. I need a 5. And I got the 5. Got a lot of 5s this time. Actually, I have a 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. I'm using one of the 5s. And now I've gotten the early appeasement for roll 2. And then I'll mark the letter F. And I'll get 10 points. And then with that, I will write down the value 4. Yeah, the 4. And then I'll get 5 points at the end of the game for completing that, because these numbers in this section of the kingdom add up to 14. And then I have one more roll. And I won't be able to write anything down in the council offering, but I will be able to write one of the values here in the kingdom. And I'll take the 3 and write it down here in the big to small section. Okay, now this is the last round, and I think my goal will be to complete the big to small, so I get 9 points. So I need a 2 and a 1. So I have the 2 and the 1. So I'll write down the 2 without having to mark an X, and I'll mark the X here to write down the 1. Now available for me to write in the council offerings, I have the numbers 2, 2, 4, 6. And I think I'll attempt to go for the add to 4. So depending on how many sets you have that add up to 4, you gain points. So I think I will mark down 2, 2, 4. Yep, 2, 2, 4. And then that'll be that. Second roll. I have a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 1. Wow, that's like a straight. I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So here, I think I will put a... I gotta circle the 9 here. I will put a 4. And then... nothing else will help me, I think. And I'll just write down the number 2. And so I finished the roll, the appeasement by 2. And then what can I write? I can write something here, and I think it'll have to be... well, you know what? I think I will not write the number 2 there. Instead, I'll just write number 6. I don't know, that's not gonna help me. And then I'll write the number 2 here, and hopefully my third roll will have a number 2. Because that's the only thing I can do is write a number down in the kingdom, and it'll only be one number. And nope, I did not roll a 2. But in the interest of following the rules, I'll write down a number in the kingdom. I'll put a 5 here. Alright, so the rep letter I want to use here is H. And I have sets that add up to 4, so I have 1, 2, 3. So it's 4 points. And then I'll add up these numbers. Let me see. So that's 20, 28, 36, and 40. That's the ongoing total. Unique numbers, I have to count how many 3s I have in my entire council offering. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means I get 3 points. And then in pairs, score points for each pair of 2 and 5 in your council offerings. So I have 1, 2. Only 2. So I get 2 points for that. So that's a total of 5. And then my goodness, representative letters is how many different representatives I appeased or attempted to appease. I did 1, 2, 3 different ones, so I get 6 points. And in kingdoms total, I add up the circled numbers or the completed kingdom sections, and that's 11 plus 9 is 20. And now I just add up the points here. So that's 60, 65, and then 71. So let's see what that ranks me according to the rule book in solo play. 71. Oh, barely made it. It says council member from the Arctic Kingdom. You didn't become monarch, but you get a seat on the council from the Arctic Kingdom. It's not the best, as it's cold, snowy, and dark a lot of the time, but at least you're somebody. Pretty neat. That was creative. Okay. So yeah, that was a solo playthrough. I hope that made sense. And I hope I played correctly. If I haven't followed all the rules, definitely let me know. Um, I think this is a, super quick roll and write. And if you wanted to, you could probably play with as many people as you want on Zoom, which is pretty fun. So definitely recommend this for, a bit of a party game if you have people to play with. Otherwise, solo is not bad. It's definitely a bit of a push your luck game, and which I don't mind. I always enjoy those. But yeah, overall, very enjoyable game. I have to say though, I do enjoy roll and writes, and I've enjoyed Three Sisters a lot. Like that one just really took off with me. So I don't think this one is topping that one on my list, but it's not bad. I think I'll have to play this a little bit more and really try the different representatives. I think that's what will change it up for me for sure. The replayability in terms of what the other goals are. Like this one says add up to 8. This one says fours, only fours count. Um, uh, this one says each set of identical council offerings. So yeah, that's pretty interesting there. So I think this is a very interesting game. I like the artwork. You get a closer look at this one. I do enjoy it, but I wouldn't say it's one of my top favorites. But anyway, not sure why I'm kind of giving like a mini review right now. This is supposed to be a playthrough, but yeah. If you're, interested in watching more playthroughs of this particular game, let me know. I'm happy to do more. I'll be playing this definitely some more as well. So if I have the recording, I will definitely add it to my channel. So feel free to subscribe and comment, and definitely let me know which roll and writes are your favorites, because I'm always on the lookout for them. Anyways, as always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.